5. I think that might be it. I think I opened...
Hi Fathomers! Today we'll be looking at some unpopular opinions and hot takes from the hellhole that is Twitter. I tried to find some different ones from the other videos I've made because it can get so repetitive. These people be saying the same shit on every platform over and over. You might be surprised I haven't made a TikTok takes video, and that's because I already know it's gonna piss me off even more than the Reddit and Twitter crowds. It's literally pre-uk brain rot, just L takes everywhere. Also, I haven't been on that app in years and I wanna keep it that way. Unless you all send me some TikTok takes like screenshots from comments sections or something, I will not be downloading that app to look for shit. Let's get into the Twitter takes though. Why is it that when Marinette does or says something stupid regarding Adrian it's the writer's fault, but when Chat Noir does the same to Ladybug people are quick to hate on him? Genuine question. They're both flawed. Why don't they get the same treatment when it comes to this? It reminds me of the Chloe stans blaming writers for ruining her character when in fact it's just the way she is. I mean, you can tell when something is a genuine writing flaw and when it's supposed to be just a character flaw for the sake of being a flaw for said character. They're both flawed. We've been new. Also, Marinette was way more obsessed with Adrian than Chat Noir was with Ladybug. That's also something to think about. Like Chat Noir being overly flirty with her and being annoying was supposed to be a character flaw that he was called out for. But Marinette's obsession with Adrian was taken a lot further than Chat Noir's. And when you think about whose idea it was to write a 14-year-old girl be that obsessed with a guy, yeah, I'm sorry. Master Fu is more of an antagonistic figure, and he would have made more sense if he was an antagonistic figure. At least then his actions would make actual sense, because in canon he's portrayed to be this grand respectable character when all he did was burden Marinette. Like having him be a character who's mad that his childhood was stripped away from him, and so once Hawkmoth comes he decides to do the same thing to others so that they can experience he did. Even without this plotline he is very selfish in canon, but at least there would be some sort of reason as to why he chose kids to fight against a supervillain. Also, would have been nice if Marinette could figure it out for herself that Master Fu was no good guy but a selfish bastard, and actually get mad at the fact that he pushed his responsibilities onto her. Agree with every single word. No, because how do they have a character like that and no one in canon acknowledges how terrible he was? How do you have such a terrible mentor character and don't paint him as an antagonist when he clearly is given everything he's done? OP took it right out of my mouth, girl. Yes. Hello. This is my honest opinion about the ships in the love square. Actually, for me, even though they are the same person, the four gives different vibe that makes them look like they are different people. Like Ladybug gives a competitive duo vibe, Mari Chat gives chaotic vibe, Adrienne gives a pure vibe, and Ladrian gives awkward and cute vibe. Adrian is the sweet little innocent boy, while Adrian as Chat Noir has a flirty attitude. Marinette as Marinette is the cute clumsy girl, while Marinette as Ladybug is the girl who is so confident. So that's why for me it's okay if you ship that specific ship more than this ship. Their different attitudes in their civilian or superhero form makes the ship also different. Again, this is just my opinion, and if anyone disagrees it's fine. Normal people, I like to go in the sun and play. This is why I can't stand Adrienne stands brain rot. Honey, what are you saying? Adrienne haters stay in school. I wanted to make a barbed stay in school joke, but it didn't work, so I went with Adrienne haters. Arianators, but it's Adrienne. Hot take. I feel like when people don't like a character and that character makes a mistake, they sit there and say stuff like this character is bad, their mistake is so shitty, people need to call them out, etc. But if a character they like makes a mistake, they blame it on the writing. Yeah, the writing was bad this episode, X wouldn't really do this. I'm gonna pretend this episode doesn't exist. In my opinion, it's a bit silly to have a biased opinion like this. Not me though. A few examples would help, to be honest. Like me with season 5 finale, Marinette is both I call her out and blame the writers for making her do that shit because she literally wouldn't do that. I don't care. When Felix snapped everybody out of existence, I blamed his father for making him turn out that way, not the writers. lmfaoo. Also Master Fu. Everything is Fu's fault. Hello. This is something I wanna say. Yes, Master Fu wasn't a great mentor to Adrian nor Marinette, and I mostly think it's because of the writing. They didn't give him enough screen time as they should have, and also the moments he spoke to Adrian weren't shown because we know they barely show Adrian's pod. As an example, Feast, when they showed Marinette reading Foo's letter to her and her reaction because she's the main character but not Adrian's. Now, this being said, this has been in the fandom for months. It's not something new and is funny how people are like hot take. The moment we understand that, we need to accept/realize Master Fu was this or that, because that's not a hot take anymore. And it's always the same accounts who said the same thing months ago still treating it as one hot take every month. At this point is like they just want people to agree with them. This take has become the hot take. Nathalie is as bad as Gabriel. Leona is better villain than Chloe. Miraculous is poorly written. Like, yes, we already know all. I'm afraid it wasn't just that we didn't see all of Fu and Adrian's interactions because neither of them have a lot of screen time. It's that those were all their interactions in general. Lmfaoo. Like, we've been over this for years now, they just didn't interact a lot and he didn't train Adrian at all. When it comes to holding fictional characters accountable, it really is a bit pointless because they will not apologize to you, and they were obviously written that way to keep the story moving forward. A character with no flaws is boring. No, because the way people act like these characters are real is so funny. Me saying this like I didn't post this video 2 weeks ago. Unless their flaws are written horribly, like Marinette's stalker tendencies which are romanticized, and Chloe's racism because she is never called out for those specific actions of hers. Okay, wow, hold on now. Marinette's love life is really handled by the writers and her obsession with Adrian, but hey, that's not stalker shit, and B, it's not romanticized. It started off as silly cartoon gags, and now with the context from derision we're supposed to feel bad when she's being weird because it's Chloe's fault. Barbed stay in school. I actually don't know how to defend it all anymore. When Adrian gets the ladybug miraculous, it's some Kwame swap, but the second it's Marinette's best friend who one knows her identity, two has proven to be a really good leader. Yeah, I'll be like, you can't outdo the doer, or that's so out of character of Marinette. I don't even know at this point if it's misogyny or straight up racism, but you all need to chill. You're all acting like the show's now gonna be called Miraculous Scarabella. Like, damn, for real. Okay, now this is taken from an anonymous submissions account from 2021, so season 4 era. I wasn't on MLB Twitter back then. Was it really that bad with the Alya lashings? Also, were people actually saying it was out of character to trust her best friend with superhero stuff, especially after she revealed herself to her? Now how does that even work? Lmfaoo, that's the most in character thing for Marinette to do. We've seen instances of Alya criticism just being baseless and racism in disguise, so no surprise imps were all in on that in the season 4 era. Hey, this might be messy, but considering what just happened with Millie, I think someone should say it. There is a difference between Chloe fans and Chloe stans. Oftentimes, the stans you see supporting Chloe are racist, ignorant, prejudiced, etc., and can't see the error of their own ways. They'll shame Marinette or Ella for doing something stupid and then turn around and defend Chloe for doing the same thing. But most notably, they defend Chloe's racism. Chloe was written with racist intent, and that's a fact. Anyone who defends it is racist themselves. But people like myself are Chloe fans, who really just wanted her to have a good closing arc and or may identify with her mommy issues. The difference is that we can acknowledge that Chloe's mommy issues aren't an excuse to be racist and want to see her held accountable just as much as the rest of you. We just like her attitude, her storyline, arc, character design, whatever. Chloe stans are toxic and defend her racism. Chloe fans are not and do not. I feel like if we distinct the two, the fandom can be a little more at peace with this issue, which is all I really want. Now, I've never seen anyone talk about this. I didn't even think about the possibility of Chloe fans like that existing, to be honest. Just people who like her and aren't insufferable pieces of shit. Again, this is from 2021, but I feel like the reason I never see actual Chloe fans now and just insufferable people who are bad people on purpose is because they don't want to be associated with 2024 Chloe stans, so they shut their mouths and are closeted. Or the ones fans aren't fads anymore. Because let's be real, even if you once liked her and fell in the first category of just fans, I don't think you exist anymore after season 5. Any people who fall in the first category, comment if you exist, because I'm genuinely curious. Nathalie stands aren't much better than Gabriel ones if they defend her actions and shit. She definitely just sits by and lets abuse happen. Just because she's nicer doesn't mean she isn't compliant in him being neglected and abused and the like. It annoys the hell out of me Nathalie is seen as this amazing character as in a good character / on the good side when she's not. She's good as a villain. Yes. Very well written there, but she is far from being the good guy and isn't redeemable anymore in my opinion. Tell that to the season 5 finale. It's so funny reading this after we got season 5. I wonder how OP is doing now. Like Nathalie is not even a well-written villain be for real. This is how I understood Passion and the videos is Rutkin. Those videos didn't exist before lmfaoo. Like you're just now telling us about Nathalie and Emily's past, and the videos that suddenly exist, all we ever heard from Nathalie when it came to Emily. The reason Gabriel is even a villain and she's helping him is just a sigh. Oh Emily, that's it. And suddenly they were in a challengers trio with Gabriel. Sure. And Nathalie came all this way going against her ex-situationship. I wish that she knew damn well this whole time. Nathalie just exists now. I have no idea what the writers are gonna do with her from now on, and I don't think they know what to do with her either. Especially if they boil her down to Marinette's illegal therapist who should be in jail for her crimes as a grown-ass woman. Also if she doesn't have any new dynamics like with Amelie and Felix. Because let me remind you it's not even confirmed that they're moving in the Agreste house with her and Adrian, which would be dumb as hell if they didn't. But anyways, I have another take. The more I think about Chad Blank the more flaws I notice within it. I already thought Gabriel was out of character just to give more shit to the viewers, but what I disliked most was the treatment of Marinette's character this episode. She sees Adrian being tormented by his father right in front of her eyes, yet she doesn't do anything. She seems so emotionally distant from the whole situation. All she did was remind Adrian about the price of the wish. With how obsessed she is with Adrian, from knowing his schedule to making presents for his next 35 birthdays, you'd think she'd at least yell at Gabriel and tell him how cruel he is, or maybe even try and attack him. But lmfaoo, to be honest, I wanted her and Adrian to beat his ass like this.
Stupid bitch!
She wasn't controlled by any amix, no excuse. Love when Chad Blank gets lashings. Fuck that episode. I really don't understand the argument. Marinette is just a 14-year-old girl. For all the characters in this cartoon are the same age. If the age of one erases mistakes, the age of everyone erases all the mistakes, crimes, etc. that all teenagers make in this cartoon. This dumbass take. My somewhat controversial opinion is that Marinette has no reason to make any mistakes during the show. She theoretically has the most mental health of the program, a good family, good friends, interactions of different quality than the others. A mistake made by a hero is still a mistake. Nobody says her mistakes don't count because of her age. Hello? Her mistakes are still mistakes. And just because she comes from a healthy household doesn't mean she can't make mistakes. Mistakes are human and have nothing to do with age. People are out there complaining about her being a Mary Sue, and now I'm seeing the opposite side of the spectrum. You can't make this up. She's not perfect. She's meant to make mistakes so she can learn from them and grow as a superhero and a person. Kids, remember this. If you come from a healthy household, you have no reason to make mistakes according to this person. Also, seeing the line "she has a good mental health" is so funny now, like her mental health is shit. lmfaoo. You can make mistakes when you're mentally ill and when you're not. Marinette is a Mary Sue son, or Marinette has no reason to make mistakes because she's mentally well. Daughter, MLB Twitter needs to understand that their own personal interpretation of the characters doesn't align with how everyone else perceives them and how they actually are. Constantly judging people for not viewing Cat Noir as a sexual harasser and constantly shoving your interpretation down everyone's throat is disgusting. Sorry, I don't view lighthearted flirting and banter as harassment. You can view it however you want, but some of you went as far as to compare Adrian, a 14-year-old animated boy, to a fucking rapist existing adult. Do you not see an issue with that? You'll wanna be fake woke so bad that you're ruining the show for so many people. Direct your anger at the writers rather than making call-out threads and 20-minute long videos on the characters that can't do anything about it because they don't exist. It's getting fucking ridiculous. We can't have anything nice. Now, Whoa, what did we just read? Who the fuck was saying chat noir is all that? I'm so glad I wasn't on Twitter whenever this discourse happened because that's crazy. Like, was it ever that serious? Only stupid people think that Ella is interrupting Lady Noir. Well, yes, they're probably referring to the Scarabella arc in season 4 like a lot of these. Oh, and people who think Ella is replacing chat noir are stupid too. You lost me here, boo, because the truth is she was technically replacing him in battles and he was doing nothing mfaoo. It's okay to admit she was replacing him for a while in season 4, we can all see it, babes, and it was good for him too because he was at his worst. Ayo, this fandom has a serious problem with misogyny and racism. Everything that's happened with Alya tilde copyright Sarah in season 4 is having an impact on Alya antis and baby is starting to show. Let's talk about the Ladybug miraculous situation for example. How is it that when Adrian isn't entrusted the miraculous by Ladybug herself, he uses it anyways and everyone practically praises him for saving the day, but when Ella, Marinette's best friend, is entrusted with the miraculous because Marinette needs a break and she counts on the only person, frankly, who is capable of being Ladybug in case something happened to Marinette, and people all of a sudden make it Ella's fault. Like-eyed command that looks a little too sus. Okay, so I didn't know it was that crazy on Twitter with the Scarabella discourse and people were hating on Ella that bad when season 4 was airing since I wasn't on Twitter back then, but a lot of these are fandom hot takes and not show hot takes, so we moving on to more recent ones. Also, well, yes, the fandom has a huge problem with misogyny and racism. We've been new to this day. Mari is a psycho and Adrian could do better, honestly. They're both psychos for each other, just let them be. Next, Ladybug could perfectly date. It wouldn't change a lot from their past interactions and they always had a mature relationship, different that Adrian who weren't even good friends. Mari couldn't even talk to him. Lady Noir profile pic 2. Love how Lady Noir stands just want the writers to force Ladybug to like chat noir like they forced Adrian to like Marinette in season 5 mfaoo. Season 5 was great, the finale was good, and the movie was very poorly written. You all only like it because it hit the plot points you wanted in season 5. And we're so happy you just didn't notice there was nothing in between. Girl number. The season 5 was great is a crazy take Also, well, yes, that's the main reason most people liked the movie and prefer it to the show, but after that first take I can't take this seriously. People harsh on derision for trying to acknowledge that Marinette's stalker tendencies were bad, and are mad that she got a redemption arc. Yet, those same people still think the racist, classist, narcissistic bully that is Chloe should be redeemed. These people are hypocrites. No surprise that both of these mistakes are by the same person. First of all, calling her obsessive behavior stalker tendencies is strike 1. Redemption arc? Strike 2. Baby derision wasn't made to redeem Marinette for anything. They just went, hey, this happened in 8th grade. Another case of people having no clue what redemption means. I'm tired. Like, who's mad Marinette got a redemption arc? Hello? When did she get that? I do not like the lesbian vibes between Nathalie and Emily at the end of season 5. I'm not homophobic, it just doesn't look right. Now I don't know what season 5 finale you was watching because there were no lesbian vibes between Nathalie and Emily at the end of season 5. Yeah, all just watching your own show at this point. But well, yes, I don't like Marinette either mfaoo. The series is still better than the movie. Well, yes, the movie didn't cover a lot and there is so much going on in the show, so it really can't compare. Movie Adrian is a jerk. Only at first when he offered help, and at the end, he's more decent to bear. I never understood why Adrian got so much flack for being weirded out by Marinette being weird in the movie, people acting like he wasn't visibly weirded out by her in the show multiple times too. Like, yes, he's more closed off in the movie literally because he was grieving from start to finish. The fuck y'all wanted him to do? Jump up and down the walls whenever he saw Marinette being weird around him? Adrian chat cannot be in season 5 finale actually makes perfect sense. Whatever that means. Feligamy is forced even though there are cute moments. Just like every ship in this show, nothing new. You all really expected to see a 100% organically developed relationship in this show? Remember what you're watching. Alya is not a really good friend. Like, she rather trusts Leola than Marinette, her best friend? Yeah, number. She's okay when Leela isn't around. I just act like she's possessed whenever she's in a scene where she should obviously be supporting her best friend but isn't, so they can get us mad lmfaoo. Like she's not being herself, she's mind controlled by the script. Cut her some slack. Oh, I can feel the swords now. Chloe's redemption arc was never a thing. She was just a hero for 2 seconds and never changed her pompous attitude as a civilian, and she deserved to be replaced by Vesperia. Also, Vesperia is superior to Queen Bee. I was with you until you said Vesperia is better than Queen Bee. Like, let's be serious, I don't care about either of the sisters, but there's an obvious answer to who's a better bee, and one isn't even a bee. The transformations carried the series. I need more of it. Those took up way too much space screen time, and given we only get 20 minutes per episode, I'm good without them. The Cindy Adrian plot is bullcrap. It's the most interesting thing in this show, be so for real. Like, mind you, it's the only reason the show exists. No census equals no plot. We need to start giving the Cindy plot its flowers. Gabriel looked like a Dollar Tree Colonel Sanders. Well, yes, I kinda think they should have let Chloe have her redemption arc they started. Like, not a full redemption, but they ruined her character in the end. Now she's just stupid. They didn't start shit, they just made her do a good deed once in a while and that's it. But I get what you mean. It would have been cool if she stayed that way even after the whole Queen Bee "I'm waiting for Ladybug to call for me" fiasco. It would have been cool if we saw the evolution of her from a soulless little bitch to getting at least a little better and maintaining that. But that wasn't the direction she chose, and that's okay. Also, she's always been low-key stupid lmfaoo. I don't want Chloe to have a redemption arc. Early seasons Chloe, I wouldn't have minded. Fuck bullies. Well, yes, I know this is the opposite of the last opinion that I kinda agreed with, but like I've said before, I'm just indifferent when it comes to Chloe, so, villain or redeemed, I would be fine with either, because there's so much more interesting shit happening in the show. Chloe is the last thing I care about. Sorry, Mari is straight. It's okay to be wrong. Mari and Highs need to cope and shut up with defending Chloe. Regardless of how poorly written she is, she's a racist, backstabbing, manipulative and negative person, and overall has a horrible personality. Grass is green. They gotta make Nathalie do something to make up for the fact she's the only villain whose damage wasn't fixed during the time when Ladybug and Chat Noir went to New York. Bro, if I don't see her ass donating to several charity foundations with the money she has now, the new writers probably haven't even seen that she's not donating shit, baby lmfaoo. I am very indifferent to Luca. I think he talks too flowery / poetic, and I just don't like it. He comes off too wise words for being young, and he's a fine character. Just wish he'd speak like the other kids. I mean, his whole personality from the beginning has been the guy from Riverdale, so of course he talks like that.
In case you haven't noticed, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. I don't fit in, and I don't want to fit in. Have you ever seen me without this stupid hat on? That's weird.
Also, I know someone who talks like that in real life, and yes, they're pretentious 99% of the time lmfaoo. Harry and Gabriel had more chemistry in their 1-minute scene than entire Love Square. Clock it. They've explored each other's bodies for sure. People keep mentioning how lately the show's gotten more mature, but in my honest opinion it's the opposite. Yes, maybe there are higher stakes and slightly more tension, but I feel as though the charming humor that kept the older audiences watching has been dried out and turned into something stale. I don't really know how to explain it, just the way they've handled things lately really makes me miss the silly yet appealing slice of life monster of the week routine they had going on. Well, the reason they've cut out the humor lately is because it's more mature and there's a lot going on that's just not funny. Like, there's a lot of dark shit going on. Of course they won't put on a comedy show, but I think it's still funny, to be honest. The Feligami lore dump play, comedy geniuses, that was funny if you think about it. A Chat Noir villain arc doesn't make sense this far into the series. If the writers wanted to do one, then season was right there. Well, no, I don't think season 4 is enough to put him off to the point where he has his villain arc. Doesn't make sense now, but further into the series, when he finds out the truth via probably Leela. Well, yes, we're getting that villain arc, honey. That will be the icing on the cake. If all those lies aren't enough to start his villain arc, I don't know what is. I kinda wish Adri and Ned didn't get together yet. Don't get me wrong, I love them, they are so cute, it's just the timing. Marinette was starting to fall for Chat and they just threw that away. The show would have been better if, like Mari, was thinking between the two. I wanna make a whole video about the quote-unquote Love Square flip in season 5, that was so messy. But for now, all I'm gonna say is none of that should have happened. Elation and the Quamie's choice are my worst enemy. Sacrifice the plot making sense for some Mari Chat fan service that pissed me off. Really enough I always get flamed for saying it's gross that a 40-year-old man made Marinette in seasons 1 and 2 exhibit very stalkerish and obsessive behavior. Apparently she can't stalk someone BC she's just a kid and kids can't do that. Well, kids can stalk people except it doesn't apply to Marinette so. But it is gross as hell that this old ass man wrote her to be this obsessive and creepy to the point where it's 90% of her personality. I've said this before. Also, Miraculous was better when it was just the main two, maybe even the main four with Miraculous. Everyone in the damn grade having superpowers kind of ruined some things for me. This is so real, because remember how special it was when Alya got her Miraculous for the first time? That's because she had a reason to get it and feel excited. She had build up, and it made sense for her even if she's not really trained. The rest of the filler heroes introduced after her? Hell no. Everyone and their mamas got a Miraculous now like it's a COVID vaccine. At this point I care more about the adult characters than most of the other characters. Me too, friend. Like the lore is crazy, you can't compare that to these kids and their silly drama. After the whole Catwalker situation, Ladybug should have apologized. Not Chat Noir. Well no, both of them should have apologized. Next, I've said this multiple times but Felix did not deserve that redemption arc. He was better off as a villain anti-hero whatever he was. See what I mean when I say you all don't know shit and just throw words around for the sake of it? Now you don't even know what he is like. Way to let us know you don't know what you're talking about. Using words like villain and anti-hero, redemption and development like they're interchangeable. Open the schools. If you think Marinette is a stalker you are a walking red flag, unserious as f. And at the point just do not interact actually. I say that for your own sanity. I've been saying this, and with that we end the video. I'm a bit desensitized to dumbass takes at this point so I'm fine after reading some of these. Nothing I haven't clocked before. Thank you for watching.
Hey, Martin Luther King, shout out to Big Bro. If it wasn't for Big Bro, I wouldn't be rapping though. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't even be here rapping this shit, trapping this shit, stealing shit from my family and shit. Can't forget about Malcolm and Rosa Parks. I feel like we made it out the park, but it don't matter because of Martin Luther King.
Oh shit! I'm so sorry. What have I done? I'm so sorry.
I can't feel my kid.
Oh crap! The tigers seem like to be you guys. I have bad nerves. I'm so sorry. Feel better, okay?